The dining room smelled like it always did on Thanksgiving. Sage, butter, and the faint metallic tang of the good silver being used for the first time all year. 42 years of tradition sat heavy in the air. The same Wedgwood plates, the same orange candles shaped like pilgrims that Mom refused to admit were tacky, the same playlist of soft Christmas instrumentals that started playing the second the Macy's parade ended. Everything perfect, everything curated, everything a lie. I stood in the doorway longer than I needed to, letting the warmth hit my face while my fingers went numb around the strap of my purse. My husband, Jonah, had wanted to come with me. I told him no. This one I had to do alone. Mom spotted me first. "There she is," she sang, the way she always did, like my arrival was the final garnish on an already flawless table. She air-kissed both my cheeks without actually touching them. "You're late. We were about to start without you." Translation: "You almost ruined the photo timeline." Dad gave me the half hug he'd perfected since I was 12. One arm, 2 pats, release. My brother Matt and his wife waved from their seats. My sister Claire, golden from a month in Aruba, lifted her champagne flute in my direction like she was toasting a stranger. Claire had always been the biological centerpiece, blonde, blue-eyed, the daughter who looked like every framed portrait in the hallway. I had dark curls, brown skin that tanned too easily, and eyes that made strangers ask where I was really from. Mom's answer had never wavered. She's ours, 100%. I took the empty chair at the far end, the one nobody fought over. The kids' table had been retired years ago, but apparently I still belonged on the edge. Conversation floated the way it always did. Claire's promotion, Claire's upcoming vow renewal cruise, Claire's perfect sperm donor baby who already knew the alphabet at 18 months. Every story circled back to her like gravity. I smiled when I was supposed to, laughed half a beat late, and tasted nothing when the plates were passed. Mom raised her glass for the annual toast. "To family," she said, eyes shining. "To the people who choose us, blood or not." I felt the words land differently this year, blood or not. She'd been saying it my whole life, a cute little flourish the way other people say mikasa sukasa. Tonight it sounded like a confession wearing a party dress. Dad started carving the turkey with the electric knife, the whine of it filling the silence between sentences. Mom turned to me with the smile she saved for report cards and dental appointments. "So, sweetheart, any news on the adoption front? You and Jonah have been married, 5 years now?" The question wasn't new. It showed up every holiday like clockwork, wrapped in concern and a side of pity. They all knew we'd been on the domestic infant list for 3 years, that we'd been close twice and lost both times. They also knew I never brought it up anymore. I set my fork down. The clink was soft, but the room heard it. "Actually," I said, "I do have news." Mom leaned forward, hopeful. Claire rolled her eyes so slightly, only I caught it. "I found my original birth certificate last month. The one with my first mother's name on it. The one that was supposed to be sealed forever." You could hear the electric knife slow down. Dad's hand hesitated mid-slice. Mom laughed, nervous, tinkling. "What on earth are you talking about? You've always had your birth certificate. It's in the fire safe with everyone else's." "No," I said gently. "The one in the safe is the amended version, the one you filed after the adoption was finalized. I have the first one now." Claire's champagne flute paused halfway to her lips. I reached into my purse and pulled out the plastic folder I'd carried like a loaded gun for 31 days. Inside were 4 sheets of paper that had cost me $2,000 and one all-night spiral on Ancestry.com to obtain. I laid them on the tablecloth next to the gravy boat, face up so the official seal caught the candlelight. State of Illinois. Certificate of live birth. Mother, Tasha Renee Carter. Father, unknown. My name at the top. Baby girl Carter. Date of birth, same as always. Mom stared like I'd placed a dead animal in the center of her white linen. "Where did you get that?" she whispered. "From the Department of Vital Records, same as anyone else. Turns out when you're 35 and the adoption happened in 1990, the laws have changed. I didn't need your permission anymore." Dad put the knife down. The turkey sat bleeding onto the platter. Claire found her voice first. "This is ridiculous. You're being dramatic. We always told you that you were chosen." "You told me I wasn't adopted at all," I corrected, still calm. "You told teachers, neighbors, my first boyfriend, the country club. You told me my skin was just a tan and that my hair was Italian on your father's side. You let me grow up thinking something was wrong with me because I didn't match." Mom's hand fluttered to her pearls. "We did what we thought was best. It was a different time. People were cruel about transracial adoption. We wanted to protect you." "By erasing an entire human being?" I asked. "By erasing me?" I slid the second document out, the original adoption decree, the one with both mothers' signatures. Tasha Carter, age 19, relinquishing all rights. My parents, desperate after 4 miscarriages, promising to love me forever. Forever had an asterisk, apparently. Matt cleared his throat. "Maybe we should talk about this later." "No," I said. "We're talking about it right now. 35 Thanksgivings of pretending deserve an audience." I turned to Mom. "Do you know what it feels like to be 12 years old and have your best friend's mom ask if you're the exchange student? To have every teacher do a double take on the first day of school because the roster says Emma Whitmore, but the girl in front of them doesn't look like a Whitmore? To spend your entire life being told you're paranoid for noticing?" Mom's eyes filled. Genuine tears, or the performance of a lifetime. I no longer cared which. "I was grateful," I told her quietly. "I was so grateful I spent decades trying to earn a love you gave Claire for free, just for breathing. I got perfect grades so you'd brag about me the way you bragged about her mediocrity. I never asked for new clothes so you wouldn't have to explain why I didn't look like the daughter in the Christmas cards. I let you introduce me as our youngest and swallowed the lump every time someone said, 'She doesn't look like you.'" Dad's voice cracked. "We love you. You know we love you." "You love the idea of a perfect family," I said. "And when I threatened that idea, you edited me out of the story. Literally." I pulled out the final sheet, a letter I'd written the night I got the records, sealed, never mailed. I didn't need to read it aloud. The weight of it on the table was enough. Claire set her glass down hard enough to slosh champagne onto the cloth. "So what, you're black now? Is that what this tantrum is about? You're suddenly oppressed because you found some paperwork?" The room inhaled. I looked at her, really looked at her for the first time in years. "No, Claire, I'm the same person I was yesterday. The difference is, I'm done letting you decide who that person is." Mom reached for the papers, like she could make them disappear if she touched them. "This is Thanksgiving." "You're right," I said, standing, "and I'm thankful. I'm thankful I finally know my first mother's name. I'm thankful I found her obituary last week and learned she died of cancer at 33, wondering if the baby she gave up was okay. I'm thankful I get to live the rest of my life without needing your permission to be who I actually am." I picked up my purse. Nobody moved. At the doorway, I paused, hand on the frame. For the record, Jonah and I did adopt. 6 months ago. A little boy. His name is Micah Carter Whitmore. His mother picked us because we promised never to hide who he is. Funny how that worked out. Mom made us sound like a wounded animal. I stepped into the hall. The cold November air hit me the second I opened the front door, sharp and clean. My phone buzzed in my coat pocket. Jonah, checking in. I answered without stopping. "I'm coming home," I said. "How bad?" he asked. "Bad enough that I'm finally free." I hung up, got in the car, and drove east toward the city lights. In the rearview mirror, the house shrank, all those glowing windows shrinking with it, until it was just another perfect colonial on a street full of perfect colonials, hiding whatever secrets kept them warm. 2 hours later, I walked into our apartment. Jonah was on the couch with Micah asleep on his chest, tiny brown fist curled against Jonah's shirt. The Christmas tree we'd put up early twinkled in the corner, covered in ornaments Micah would never have to wonder why he didn't match. Jonah looked up, eyes asking the question he already knew the answer to. I kicked off my shoes, crawled onto the couch beside them, and rested my head on Jonah's free shoulder. "They know now," I whispered. Micah stirred, made a small, contented sound. Jonah kissed my temple. "Welcome home, Emma Carter Whitmore." For the first time in 35 years, the name fit perfectly. And outside, the first snow of the season started to fall. Quiet and honest, covering everything that didn't matter anymore. Family isn't who shares your blood, it's who shows up, it's who listens, it's who stays. And sometimes the bravest thing you can do is walk away from the people who never learned how to hold you. If any part of this felt familiar, tell me where you're watching from and share your story below. And don't forget to subscribe for the next